Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com. Do you ever make assumptions? Do you ever make assumptions in your life? And how does that work out for you? Probably not very good, right? I mean, I know I make lots of assumptions. I've learned when I'm making one to stop, but most of the time when we make an assumption, we're wrong. Why? Because that assumption is based on our knowledge, our lens, the way we see the world, and really has very little to do with another person. So I'm really talking specifically about making assumptions relative to other people. Why that's an important topic is that it will just crush, absolutely crush your potential in your business if you're making assumptions, right? If you are prejudging situations, it's going to absolutely edit your potential for success, minimize your reach, and dramatically hurt your future success. It's just going to do that. So let me walk you through 4 areas where people tend to make prejudgment and they're wrong, right? And they're typically wrong and they're limiting themselves. So the first area, right, here's the process, right? So I put the process up here. The first step in the process is to make an approach, which is a contact, right? That's an invitation to learn, right? To find out about what you have, to see if you make a connection and see if someone is open to helping themselves through whatever you might have to offer. So then they're going to learn about it. And then the information stage where you give them your tool and you share your story and they learn about what you have. And then the follow-up, right, where you fill in the holes and answer the questions and help them move through the process. And then where you sponsor them and serve them, right? So these are the 4 steps in the process. And each one of these steps, right, is subject to assumptions. So the first is even getting started, right? If you ever prejudged, oh, they're not going to be interested. They're not going to be interested. They're too successful already. Or they're not interested in this kind of thing. Or they're too busy. Or the list can go on, right? You have all kinds of things you make up, and that is the thing. Make up in your head that aren't true. They're just what you think. And what you think, your opinion about this other person's situation, is not based in fact or relevance. Why? Because you have no idea. You have no idea. They might be making a lot of money and hate their job, right? You don't know, right? They may make a lot of money and they're bored. Or maybe they don't make a lot of money and you just think they do, right? Because they dress a certain way or they drive a certain car. They might be leveraged to the hilt and so far in debt they're ready to go underwater. You don't know, right? And so your job is to make the offer, right? That's all it is. Your job's just to make the offer. It's just to say, hey, are you open? Are you open? You're just looking to see who's open. So here's step 1. Never prejudge someone as to whether or not they're going to be interested. Ask them. If they're not interested, they'll tell you. But there's a good chance they're going to be interested in learning. The second place, right, that we prejudge typically is in the follow-up. We don't tend to prejudge in the information, right, because we're in the moment, right? We're in the moment sharing our story. We're in the moment when the information is there, right? We're not prejudging typically in this step because we're at the step. They said, hey, I'm open to learning, and we're in it. We're not judging now, but we might judge right near the end, right? We might not judge it in the end. So once we move through information and we're into follow-up, you ever called somebody and then call you back? Do you ever set up a follow-up time and that, to make a phone call or have a Skype with someone and they didn't show up? Sure. And what do you think? Are you like, oh, something must have happened? No, you're like, oh, they're not interested. What are they thinking? Maybe I did something wrong. He goes through this whole litany of stuff, which then in many cases starts to preclude someone from even following up again, which is a massive, massive mistake when you consider you got to hear no 4, 5, 6 times. And that's a form of no when someone doesn't show up for a follow-up conversation, right? That's a form of no. And so you're prejudging a situation, but you're making it up. It's not reality, right? Life happens. Life happens for people, right? Somebody can be real interested today, and suddenly a pipe bursts in their basement. Do you think they're thinking about you when they got 6 inches of water in their basement? No, right? Or suddenly they had an issue with a child, or something happened at home, or something happened in their job, or something happened somewhere. People got a lot of stuff going on in life, and we're prejudging that, oh, they're not interested. No, how about let's go the other direction? They didn't show up. Something's going on. One possibility out of 1,000 is that they're not interested. Think about it that way. One, right? Just one out of 1,000. But that's the one you hone in on, even though you got no basis for that, right? And if it keeps you from following up properly, you've edited your success, right? And here's even the worst part of that. See, if you've done this and you've done this, you've opened someone's mind. If you don't follow up, they're going to go, what kind of person is Todd? Right? Yeah, I didn't show up for a call. They're going to justify that, right? They're going to justify that as being okay, right? But then you didn't continue to follow up. So you opened their mind, didn't follow through. What does that mean? They're ready for someone else to come along with an opportunity, and they're going to go, oh, you know what? Yeah, man, I think that this industry is a great idea. So what do you got? And you will have primed someone else's new person. That's what you will have done. Next, in this area of follow-up, when it's time to sponsor, people prejudge what others will spend. And that is a colossal error, right? They'll offer them the minimum just because they want to get them signed up. Why would you do that, right? I mean, if someone can only afford the minimum and truly only afford it, that's where you'll end up. Why would you start there, right? You need to start with the best you got, right? The most you got, so that people know what the options are, right? If you're working with a product, would you rather them experience one product or 10? Right? I mean, if they experience 10, that's 10 ways they can go, holy cow, this company makes great stuff, right? I mean, why limit them? And then what you're doing is setting the trend for their duplication. Well, I can only buy this, you only start this one little thing, okay? And then they're going to operate totally out of scarcity, totally out of the same mentality. You got to set the proper stage. I say, hey, here's the best way to start is with the jumbo pack, because the jumbo pack's got all this great stuff in it. You get to experience it all, and it's going to help you understand why what you're doing is so awesome, right? And if someone say, hey, that's a little bit too much, you say, okay, well, how far apart are we, right? And now, well, I can do about this. Okay, well, then go to this package, right? Don't just go at the minimum. Don't assume what people will spend money on. You don't have any idea, right? That person you think has no money, trust me, they got money somehow. If they need it, they got it, right? If it matters to them, they have it. It's not your place to prejudge that, right? So again, thinking that way is coming out of your mind. It's coming out of your lens, and it's editing your possibilities. And then the fourth and another cataclysmic error is in the serving area, especially among customers. So you enroll a customer, and then you never give them the opportunity to upgrade. You don't give them the opportunity to upgrade. In other words, you don't really tell them about the opportunity. I mean, there's a lot of the majority of people who build in the industry, right, that really build long-term businesses, spend a lot of time building customer bases, right? That's one of the first things they should do for most people. And so to never go back to that customer and expose them to what else is possible because you don't think they'll be interested in you, because you're afraid, it's editing your success. And here's what happens, and I've seen it more times than I can remember, where someone had a great customer who loved their product. They never presented the customer with the possibility of even learning that there was more available to them because they didn't think they would be interested. And that customer signed up in another company and built a huge business. How crazy is that? How crazy is that when all it would have taken was a 30-second question? That's all it would have taken. So never in any case ever involving another person in the work, prejudge or make assumptions, because you're usually going to be wrong and you're going to edit your success. And you never want to edit your success. Think of it this way. If you edit your success, it's not just you, right? You're editing the potential of your family. You're editing the potential of the people you touch in your life. It's way bigger than that. So don't miss out by being afraid to ask a simple question, and make sure you ignore what you think, because in that case, you're then going to be doing what you need to be doing. Go for the no. Go for the no in all cases. So I hope that was helpful for you today. Thanks for tuning in.